Another mystery buried deep in the hills of eastern Washington keeps resurfacing. A bottomless pit said to be a pathway to the paranormal. KOMO4's Denise Whitaker heads east in search of the hole.
Today, we want to dive into something quite strange, and that is Mels Hole. If this is the first time you've heard about this, we'll now give you some background information so you know a bit more before we get into the juicy topics. Mels Hole refers to a legendary anomaly or purported supernatural phenomenon that was described by a guest named Mel Waters on the late-night radio show hosted by Art Bell called Coast to Coast AM in the late 1990s. The story gained widespread attention and became the subject of speculation and urban legend. According to Mel Waters, he discovered a mysterious hole on his property near Ellensburg, Washington. Waters claimed that this hole was unusual because of its depth and strange properties. The story of Mels Hole captured the imagination of listeners and conspiracy theorists, leading to various speculations about the nature of the phenomenon. However, no physical evidence of the hole's existence has ever been found, and skeptics have dismissed the story as a hoax, or a fictional narrative presented for the entertainment purposes. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the legend of Mels Hole remains a notable part of paranormal lore, often referenced in discussions about mysterious phenomena and unexplained events. The story continues to intrigue enthusiasts of the unexplained and serves as a reminder of the power of storytelling in shaping popular culture and beliefs. Now that you know a little more about Mels Hole, we'll be talking about, is this place all fact? Or could it be fiction? How on earth could it be 80,000 and whether it is even possible? And finally, we'll be looking at how it could be all a government cover-up. Let's get straight into it. Mels Hole is something that is quite strange and one that people speculate a lot on whether it is all fact or fiction. Now the facts are that Mel Waters, who we spoke about earlier on in the video, had a lot of land on his property and he ended up finding this hole and he just assumed that it was just a random hole in the ground that actually had some use to him. He would end up allowing locals and himself to throw trash and waste down the hole like refrigerators and other non-working household appliances. He was curious about how deep the hole was, and he did this by throwing a weight on a fishing rod and waiting until it would hit the bottom of the hole, and then he would measure the fishing line to see how deep it really was. Now, here is where the story gets a little more interesting. He would use 80,000 meters worth of fishing line. First off, where on earth do you get that much fishing line? Then, after making this discovery that the hole was 80,000 meters deep, he would go on the radio, as we said, and then tell the whole world about this hole that was found on his land. Then after he came on the radio, he all of a sudden did not live at the place where the hole was. And we'll dive much deeper into why this might have been towards the end of today's video. This could all be fiction at the end of the day because it is one man's word against everyone else and he could be lying, but we'll get into that very soon. Do you think that what Mel Waters said was true? Or could he be lying about it all? Let us know in the comments below. We now want to talk a little bit about whether could it be even scientifically possible for this random hole in some random land to be 80,000 feet deep? Now, one thing which we have to question is how do we know that this random man's measurement of a huge hole in the ground is correct? He could be just miles off or just exaggerating so he gets more media attention. Only he will know the true answer. The deepest part of the ocean. The Challenger Deep is 10,935 feet deep, so why and how is this hole 8 times deeper than the deepest part of the ocean? It is honestly very hard to explain. With Mels Hole being 80,000 meters deep, it is just so hard for anyone to visualize what it would have been and what it would have looked like if you directly looked down that hole. Is it possible for the hole to be that deep? Well, yes, because the Earth's core is so much more deeper, but it would not be safe for anyone to investigate it because of the risks of going that deep into the ground. Furthermore, we do not know where the hole is actually right now. We know that it was on Mel's old property, but back in 2002, an investigation to find the hole was unsuccessful. Furthermore, some research into what Mel said, if the fishing rod did go 80,000 meters deep into the ground, it is more than likely that the rod would have burnt due to it getting towards the crust of the earth, which is lava pretty much. So it is doubtful that the hole was really that deep. It could have been deep, but nothing like Mel Waters said it was. It has to be said that Mel could have been telling just a few lies in the story that has created the conspiracy around Mels Hole, but we have some spicy theories to get into next. As we spoke about earlier on, Mel moved out of his property shortly after coming public about the hole over the radio. This could have just been because he wanted to move out and was planning it, and he found the hole when he was clearing up his property, hence why he and the locals filled the hole with trash, or that he was just so spooked out with the hole being on his premises that he decided to just move out of the property. However, a theory that has been widely discussed about Mel and the hole is that he was forced out of the property by the government. Now, first off, why would the government want to have some control over Mel's hole? I mean, if it was this deep, they would want to do investigations and use it to their advantage, as the US government always wants power over anything no matter what. Well, it was said that black beams were shooting out of the hole at times, and also that Mel's phone would malfunction whenever he got near the hole. A neighbor also put their dead dog down the hole, and then the following day, that very same dog went back to the neighbor's house. With all of this, the US government somewhat seized the hole so they could do whatever they wanted to do with it. One theory is that the hole was always known to the government, but they just hid it away, and when Mel came out talking about all of it, they took back control. Why on earth would people's phones just stop working when going near the hole? There has to be something down there that was causing the black beams and phones to stop working and creating magic by bringing the dead back to life. There could be some links to aliens due to the just inhumane things that this hole is creating. It cannot be human, that is for certain. At the bottom of the hole, however, it was proven it was just lava and the warmth of the core of the earth when Mel himself put a sheep down there and it came back burnt from the inside out. It is honestly baffling to say what exactly goes on in Mel's hole because the acts are so out of the ordinary that we can only keep guessing. But for certain, it has to be something that the government does not want anyone to see, because they kind of kicked Mel out once he started talking about it and bringing the world media into it. The government probably know the true answer to what is going on at Mel's hole, but the public today will always want to know what is down there. It is probably lava, but then what is everything with the black beams? Like, why the color black? What significance could that have? Could it indicate something to do with death and how something very sinister is down there, and we'll never really know until the government come out and tell us? That they will not just look at Area 51 and how protective they are over that. Overall, having looked into the case through the facts and the fiction to then saying if it is even possible for the hole to be 80,000 meters deep like Mel said all of those years ago, it is still a mystery that has to be solved. It could all be the truth about what Mel said, but we believe that something else happened or is happening down that deep pit. What are your thoughts now in Mel's hole? Do you think the government is involved, or is everything Mel said facts? Drop a comment below and do let us know what you think now. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and make sure that you subscribe for more videos just like this one, and you do not want to miss out.